Yo, what's good, people? How y'all doing out there today? It's hump day. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. We can get through this. We can get through, well, just about anything, I guess. How's that for dramatic? Saf, good morning, sir. Good afternoon, where you are. Salutations, bonch, bonch, bonch. How are things across the pond? Paul's tuning in from sunny Maryland. It is sunny with floating Simpsons clouds currently, but there was a late start to school. There was ice this morning. We got a bit of a blizzard yesterday. Iron Imp is here. What's up, Iron Imp? Where are you located again, Iron Imp? Try to keep all this stuff straight. Alright, so today, I'm going to try to be highly productive in a short period of time. Might need to knock out a couple of new sounds just to get my head back in it. Toronto area, that's right. Right on. And then we'll probably have a bit of a bounce party. Ooh. Yeah, Paul, the radio plugins are legit, right? And oh, just one gem after another. Good to hear you're inspired and jazzed up. Where's the piano coming from? Let me show you. Let me show you where these things are. They may not be what you expect. So let's go ahead and start with this top one. It's quite literally just a little drone sound. I've got this washed out. Some reverb. A little portal stretching. This is all it is. And believe it or not, it's Screwwell. Right? Just a little, like, digital noise. Right? Okay, so that's the first one. Second one. This guy, Heaven's Bells, put this one up from time to time. Actually, didn't really change this one this time, but it is being run through this little crumble wash over here. Doesn't make it sound too different. This is it on its own. It's like some surface texture and slight obfuscation. And then there's this. Just got a delay on it. I'll take the delay off. And this is actually steam pipe. So if you were to go down here and disclose this, this is steam pipe, which is a really old school reactor library ensemble. And this is like from, not Kontakt 1, but, I mean, not Complete 1, but maybe a very, very old one. It's being triggered by this Euclidean sequencer up here, of which there's 2. And then there's this guy. And this is just an instance of metaphysical function. And I've tweaked it a bit. It's got this little sample kind of running alongside these oscillators that are being swelled in and out, run through them. So there actually isn't a piano, but when you put them all together, and Iron Imp found a gem in that ID 700. It's pretty cool. Bonch, I love the older ensembles as well. I really do. There's a bit of nostalgia, of course, but you know, the more time passes, the more classic those sounds become. I just like twisting them up in different ways. Like having played with them for so many flippin' years now, it's cool just to play with them with fresh plugins and stuff. So. Yeah, Saf, I love metaphysical function. I use it all the time. Yeah, it's just these, you know, these incredibly simple elements just kind of being layered together in a unique way. And then just allowing them the space to do their thing. Yeah, Steam Pipe's pretty darn great. Yeah, metaphysical function is pretty awesome. It's a tough one to beat, for sure. But yeah, there's almost nothing as good as sending some really fun samples through metaphysical and then just messing with it. All right, so let's do something. Let's see here. I got a software track here. Let's load something I haven't loaded in a long time. Let's do two things that we haven't done. First, let's go into Massive. When was the last time we opened Massive stream? Been a long while. Let's see here. What do I want? Let's go in and get in something. Let's make something new. Let's see if I can remember how to use this thing. Let's load up some stuff. Yeah, let's run through that. Let's put an LFO on it. work. And let's also put this into... let's not. Let's run it through a filter, though. Let's do a comb. Send it all the way through the comb series, and it's up to mix 1. Feedback up in here. Okay, and we're going to put another LFO. We're going to put it on this pitch over here. Up in direction. Oops. That again. I'm just going to take down the kind of strength of that signal there. And we're going to run this through a low pass. Let's do it 2. Off those. Okay. 2. All right, so we're going to start low. We'll roll high. We're going to put this over here. We're going to put this into low mode. All right, now let's just start messing with this thing. Let's put a little phase in here, which is going to be kind of the equivalent of FM. So let's put this down a bit. And let's get out of this integer land here. All right, sure, we'll do that, but we'll put that on this guy here. Bring this up a bit. All right, we'll run this all through. It's a pretty wild sound got going on here. This is why massive It's kind of the best for so long. Very, very easy to just get lost in. Take a look at our routing here. Instead of this low pass, I'm going to put a scream in here, which is a bit different. Try and get some, there we go. Feedback built up in this thing. Iron Imp, I see your comment. The LFO modulating the modulation OSC phase. Maybe get it to target the low pass filter that is here. I'm kind of liking this. Let's bring in some. Let's do two things. Let's just our low end here, and then let's also just kind of play with some really simple saturation. Right, so while that's just kind of churning and doing its thing there, let's add a little bit more stuff. That's number 7 that's controlling those. What was the rate? Quick. Bring this one up for our crush. Add just a little bit of beating heart kind of effect here. Be with the noise though. Alright, that was kind of fun. See what it sounds like even lower. Alright, cool. Alright, let's change this pitch cutoff. Instead of solid 1 here, let's set it at like maybe like a 0.12 something. It's gonna eke out a little bit of extra detuning here. It's getting really big. Wow, this one's freaking wild. Okay, what if we go up like 5 octaves or so? Sounds. Wow. All right, let's take down this scream. Wow, it's got like a string quality to it for sure. It's like some, I don't know, like some modern Hitchcock kind of. All right, I'm gonna do one more little sprint here. Let's do a, and then I'll be ready to bounce a bunch of stuff. Let's do here. Let's first we'll start with that. Let's go find some stuff. Sample. Ooh, field recordings. All weird with some field recordings. Sound design. Machinery. How about press is going to be too big? These are going to be Z. Let's do some pulleys. A little too much. Wooden pulley. That one's kind of interesting. That one's pretty interesting. All right, let's bring this one over. And let's put it over here. We'll just put this in as a regular sampler mode, and we'll get in, set up a loop in here, and play this back at a low. Maybe better. Better. Okay, let's put something on to this next channel. And let's make it maybe some kind of nature. Crickets are always kind of fun if you pitch them way down. So let's go granular on this. And we're just going to solo this really quick. Volume of... Oh, wow, this is so super. Okay, we're gonna boost this up a bit. We're gonna put a compressor on here. We're not. Okay, now that sounds pretty cool. Okay, those are cool. So now let's bring in one more thing. Let's make this one kind of tonal. We can kind of force some kind of tonality if we... Steam? Maybe some steam. Could try a little steam. Let's bring steam in. And let's do, if we do additive, it'd be nice and easy. The tonality thing. Let's do that. Let's put it into additive mode. I'm gonna play this back. Why have we lost playback of? I thought we were in continuous. Okay, so now we've got this really kind of interesting and weird, kind of clumsy sort of texture. Let's go ahead and put some convolution into the mix here. I'm gonna get rid of a lot of this dry. I'm gonna move more into the wet. Let's change it to the tone here. kind of interesting. Let's take the size down, which will affect the pitch here. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, yeah, let's clean up this reverb really quick. Got a low pass. High pass. That's pretty nice. Go way up high. Right there's a nice little sweet spot there. These textures, you can hear those tiny little knocks and stuff. Let's just go into our global view here and start playing with the volume mix a little bit. Bring up some of those knocks a little bit more. Bring the steam loop down just a bit. Crickets are all the way up. Yo, what up, Danny? Oh, the power of convolution, right? Yeah, like without that, doesn't sound like anything. Listen how ugly it is without that. Add the convolution back in. This kind of mid-rangey presence. For our texture is pretty good, I think. I might make one more. That only took me a couple of minutes. I just want to have a couple of source sounds that aren't quite as like dystopian and gloomy. Let's do alchemy again, and let's get some kind of weird texture going again. Oh, Danny's learning phase plant today. That one was an actual drone tone iron imp. There's in the Logic Space Designer plugin. There's a collection of warped IRs that are pretty darn tonal. There are some that are textury. They've got some really interesting ones in there to play around with for sound design. But it's a fun way just to kind of play with just textures for a minute and then kind of ease your way into the tonality side of things. What if we start with some close? Just thinking out loud here. Okay, so like this one right here, this one doesn't sound like anything, right? It's barely even there. Let's bring this one in. Let's bring this one in and let's call it, let's do granular on this one. And let's just kind of zoom in on this. Okay, first we're gonna need like a little bump here. Volume. Let's do that. Do like a little it's a little too. All right, now let's get into our actual waveform. And let's say we've got a run from say from here. Yeah, sure, something like that. Okay, so let's go and grab another sample. And let's do maybe some weather. Five minutes, something small. That's pretty good. It's only 13 seconds. Let's take that one. And let's put that one into just a regular sampler. And we're going to bring this way down. All right, so we've got this sound. Let's go ahead and loop, and let's go loop it around where it's all kind of overblown and clipped. We're just going to kind of maybe dwell that area, and we can even kind of start from over here. And let's just go in and kind of massage this a bit. So we can put a, well, we can ease in our whole sound. Sounds. Let's just make it take a good near 2 seconds to open up there. Okay, so we've got this really cool weird texture thing. Let's add a tiny bit of tonality from, let's see, let's grab one of my sound packs here. How about like a sacred? Got here. Got bells, chimes, mallets on a gourd. That one's pretty good. I like the double. That's just 2 C's hitting. This is going to be granular as well. And we're just going to jump right in and set up the loop. And let's say we want this pretty much from the get. Ish, something like this. Let's see what that sounds like. This sounds nice. All right, so now let's get some effects in here. This is why you can't stick with just synthesis or audio for this kind of stuff. There's too many good things to play with. All right, so let's get away from these quarter notes. Eighth dotted and eighth maybe. Set the feedback in a like same neighborhood. Add just a little bit of crossover. Take out some lows on both. Say we're putting a high pass on both. Get rid of those lowest frequencies or delays. And let's cream this out, a little convolution. Get room. Okay, let's put on these high and low filters here and just kind of wrangle the frequencies allowing through. This. Play this up high. Blast us. So help me wrangle in my the balance, the volume balance across these. Okay, so here's the close sample. And I think what we need to do, we're going to run this in series. We're going to add a second filter. We're just going to take off some of these highs. That's a little bit better. All right, let's go into B. This is the thunder crack. Listen to this solo. And same thing here. We're going to run this through filter 2. It's not running through the other stuff right now. There we go. It's just not quite as bright. Getting everything else, which really wrangles the kind of presence mix here. All right, now let's play this down low and see if we still like it. Okay, this does feel a bit better. Let's take out some of that dry. Add a little bit more of the wet. Bring our level back up. And then we can just spice this a little bit. Wrangle the lows, and we'll put a little bit crush. We can also audition some phase distortion. Let's make this more degraded though. Let's get the down sampling up. Yeah, there we go. A little digital in there. The 6 feels good. 6-bit sound. All right, now let's bring that in at like maybe 6 or 7%. Maybe more like 9. Finishing. That bit crushes a little. Bring that back down. All right, and up top again. It's pretty okay. It's pretty okay. Back up top again. This is super tasty up here. I'm liking this. This is good. See, this is the kind of thing where people are like, that's not a drone. And I'm like, that is so a drone. That right there is an excellent drone. Thank you very much. That's good. That's good stuff right there. All right. So, gonna have to do a bunch of bouncing. It looks like Ben just threw something into the mix. We'll do it super fast. We'll do it super fast. Oh, Ben, it's just text. Unless you want feedback on the name weird and wonky. Or is this just like, is this just pillow talk? Okay, so if we're going to do this little bounce party, that means that we're going to start bringing in sounds from other projects. We might as well just do it in here. And then we'll also bounce just a few from these sounds that I've just created. So we're sitting at 60 BPM. We'll hit a 16 here. And let's do that piercing one first. That one's pretty nice too. Ooh, that F sharp is nice too. All right, so we'll start here. We'll kind of work our way around. Let's put a meter on this. Not a whole heck of a lot of change over time here is the problem. It's higher, guys. All right. I'm going to think about this in the back of my mind for a moment. That B sounds better. And while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to start bringing in sounds from other projects here. And open up a... Let's go... Project. Beds, feet 2. All right, Benny's got something for us. Where are we here? Discord. All right. It's a little 22 seconds. Just like a little baby. All right, let's see what... hey, where did my... Oh. Yeah. Dude, Ben, this is great. This one feels a bit more inspired than the last couple. Let me play this again. Although I'm liking the Trent Reznor effect of like just the super like precise noise, I also kind of want to hear it spread, or perhaps modulating out in a spread as it... Try it 2 ways, like, or 3 ways, okay? Hear me out here. A, B against the self, right? Test this against itself. You've got noise as it is now, noise that ramps up into a spread and peaks at like max width as it hits. Invert that for your 3rd iteration, right? Start wide and come up to a precise hit, right? So it ends in more of like a mono channel. Something playing with width and whatnot there. If you listen to everything else, it's got the sauce. That one element has like really strong Trent Reznor vibe, kind of very focused. This pluck here with the little feedback squelch there. And that little chirpy-ish kind of guy. They can both use maybe a really short form delay to give them a bit more width and presence as well. The only reason I'm vibing on the width thing, I think, is just because of the bass. Yeah, other than that, all I've got for you is this sounds more inspired. Chase it. It's a really good vibe. Yeah, you feel that 100%. Good, good, good. Yeah. There's always a little bit of comb in there. Stop talking about my body parts, Paul. All right, let's get back into this. Let's see what kind of sounds we can pull in. Not everything got bounced. Like this day one, I'm sure there's stuff in there. I think I was just making instruments. All right, so we've got these guys, these dystopian guys. We can bring these in. And there might be more inside of this project. It does kind of look like maybe. So we'll bring in these. Existing tracks is fine. And let's also click into day 3. All right, let's bring all of these in. And using tracks is fine. And what's on day 4? Right, some alchemy stuff that day. Use existing. Okay, so here's a handful of sounds. We'll bounce a few out of these. We'll get it up to 50. Jumia, how you doing, man? All right, let's figure out our chains here. Start off with a little EQ. We gotta save. Means that if that one isn't saved, I might still have some day 5s. Oh yeah, there's a bunch. Okay, let's bring in all these too. That adds a whole lot more to the mix. I guess I have a lot of work in front of me today. All right, so there's 75 tracks here. Okay. Let's give this thing a name. Save. Save. Bounce. And next, let's go in and see about some finishing touches stuff. What I want is a touch guy. How about Give me just a moment here. So a pretty normal process here. I'm just going to go through and kind of track by track. We'll do a little gain staging. So when it's time to bounce, I can just blow through all of this stuff. Okay, yeah, I think the reverb is good. And what was our peak loudness in this one? Let's go find that here. 26-ish. So let's give this another few deep. There we go. That's good. All right, so next one. Just kind of play with a little post-processing on this verb. Bump that first. Go back and listen to that first one. Yeah, so this one's got to come down. So we'll bring this down like maybe 60. All right, cool. And next. Golden. Oh yeah, this one. I like this one as it is. It's super. I think I kind of said screw the rules on this. It's got kind of a menacing side to it. this is good. All right, next. Let's target loudness. It's fine. Next. Come down a fair bit. Bring it down like 5 dB. Oh yeah, it feels like restrained. Quite lovely. Yeah, it's just lovely. All right, next. All of these had that phase distortion on it. It's just dreamy. Okay, we're going to bring this one down about 3.5 dB. That feels like. Hey, how many of you out there are watching The Last of Us right now? We're not like entering into spoiler territory or anything. I just randomly find myself thinking about characters from the show. Especially with these sounds. Kind of wondering how often all y'all are thinking about our heroes. We have enough cinematic sound enthusiasts to get really geeky about some sound design for just a moment. Saf, you're still watching Alice in Borderland. That's a good one. That's a good one, actually. Like, it's a pretty solid solid story. Definitely don't want to give any spoilers on that. But how many people do we actually have, like, able to chat and super geeky about sound? Because I've got some stuff to go off about. This one's golden, but we're gonna have to bring it up. So let's bring this up like maybe 7 or 8 dB. Oh, it's perfect. It's like right at 30 LUFS. It's back down. Let's do 2.5 more dB. Yeah, the game's pretty cool. Heidi watches one movie every 3 months on average. Oh, this is so great. It's like so fragile and thin, like your nerves in the apocalypse, right? That's just so good right there. Okay, piercing. Oh, this is so good. This is more than just like shell shock. This is like mind crumbling. Oh, I have not watched Everything Everywhere All at Once yet. Oh, and I still really want to. Seth says we watch a TV season every Saturday and have a pizza night with fries and chicken wings. That's awesome. Every Saturday? Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Yeah, I definitely want to see that. Look at this waveform. Look at this waveform. I'm just gonna find the right volume levels here, and you guys can appreciate the waveform while I do. Let's look at this thing. It's like speaking to us right now. Okay, we're gonna have to bring it down like 6 dB, maybe more. Probably. All right, let's try this. Okay, this is pretty hot on the Luffs side of things. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an overdrive, bring down the up the drive down. Try that again. Oh, now we can hear. Yeah, still pretty darn spicy. Let's get an additional EQ. All right, on to the next sound. This one's just barely off. Danny watched Belfast last week. I don't know that one. Streaming, mainstream release. What's the story with it? All right, cool. That's our target luffs there. All right, next. A little air. Kind of an art film released on HBO Max with Jamie Dornan. It's about mega acolyte. Beginnings of Troubled Island, 1960. Oh yeah, I've seen it as I've been scrolling around in there. Would you recommend it? All right, this thing's sitting at a really, really steady neg 30 luffs, so I think we're good there. Gosh, this one's just perfect. Gotta love it when sound design borders on ambience, like field recording ambience. I always feel proud of those. All right, next one. This one's great too. I'm gonna bump this 6 dB. Oh, that puts it into a nice little sweet spot there. Honestly, just a great story that doesn't rely on a whole lot of studio magic, just a lot of dialogue. Got it. Got it. Okay, so sometimes I will tune into something just for the sound, and I don't have much interest in the storyline or whatever. And usually when that happens, it's on kind of the darker side of things. Like I might not be super into the plot or whatever, but I'm supremely interested in the conjuring of certain emotions and whatnot. Anyway, so I'm watching this flick, and it's been in my kind of like sound design watch queue for a while. I want to say for like a couple years, maybe, because the story didn't interest me very much. But it's called Intrusion, and the sound designer has won awards and stuff. But the interesting thing about this is that they used sound in ways in which other folks oftentimes use music, and I do this all the time. So I find it incredibly fascinating, just riveting, actually. How you can have this constant changing mix of one drone into the next, and you can swell these drones, and you can put two clashing pulses together and then back into a drone, and it's all in order to create a certain kind of pace, and it's very manipulative from like a tension and release standpoint. And um Yeah, I want to hear from folks just in general about uh, the feelings that they're experiencing when they come across a movie like that or a show like that where the sound design is incredibly immersive and high quality and everything, but it's not reliant upon keys and tonality and um, progressing through an arrangement to manipulate us through music and sound. It's more just about textures and frequencies and stuff. And oh, there's another vote for Belfast. Paul says Belfast was excellent. Um, yeah, it is dope, Danny. Right? It is. It's very dope, but it's very much akin to this pack that I put out a while back. A bunch of you watched me make it. Um, let's see here. What was this? This was oh, this is one that I made for Ghost Hack. Yeah, this is one that went to Ghost Hack. Okay, so this was just cinematic textures, but like the ability to build like an arc with just the sound design. It's very reminiscent, actually. Very similar to the flick last night. But I want to hear from all sorts of people from all walks of life. Like, how did this hit you? You know what I mean? Like when you walk out of watching a movie or get up off the couch after watching a show with this type of sound design, um, driving everything instead of more melodic and tonal elements. The soundscape of gas. Dunkirk is a really good example. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just in love with this type of approach to scoring film. Like it's always been where I naturally go. But when I hear other folks doing it, it really stands out, and I'm like, oh, well, of course they've won awards doing this. It's awesome, right? But I still like there's this deep desire in me to like hear from all sorts of people about like what did they feel when they were watching this stuff and listening. Because because it's largely how I tend to operate. But it was the story actually did kind of end up sucking me in a little bit last night as I was, but fairly formulaic and blah, blah. The sound though. Actually, the robot fight theme in the Lynch Dune scared the shit out of me as a kid. Oh man. The music at the end of Goonies made Heidi cry by Toto. Pretty devoid of melodic cues, a lot of percussive and room interest. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that. I'll listen to that today. You don't mind crying publicly unless it's at the movie theater. Dune sound design in any era is just right. Okay, this air is lovely. Let's bring this up 10 or 12 dB. See what happens. Try that again. This one's going to end up being an atmosphere or something. Or maybe just a texture. I don't know if this will go into this pack, so let's give let's give it a little color action there. Ah, look at this Goni. right, same treatment as the other one. We're going to do two things. We'll give it an EQ, make sure that we're kind of tightening up the low end. We're going to give it some overdrive, drive B, bring it down several dB. There it is. Now we got it. Oof. All right, so we've turned it down a good 12 dB, and we've added a fair amount of drive. That's just lovely. Danny, I don't think it's taboo to say in this time or place, preferring the Eno and Toto Dune soundtrack. It's, there is nothing wrong with putting, and Toto up on a pedestal. Absolutely. I support that, for a fact. All right, same. EQ and drive. This one doesn't need quite as much punch being added. Whoa, but when we do, if you add 11 dB of drive to this thing and take away like 15 dB, it's purring. I think I might leave that. Is this? This is non-existent. Or delete. All right, what's this one? Pretty good as is. Let's just bring it down like a bunch. 8 dB maybe. Let's see what this sounds like. Heidi, that's great. Gotta have a way to keep yourself in check, huh? Listen to that hum. It's down several dB. Excellent. Sweet spot achieved. Next. Whoa. Here's the thing about LUFS. Look at this waveform and this waveform. They both have the same LUFS. And this one has actually been turned down a great deal. It's amazing, isn't it? Alright, cool, that one's good. Electric current. This one's fine. Just bring it down several. A for target 1. It's good. Bring this one down 4 or 5 dB. Look at the way that this thing is bending, like curving over on itself at points. Oh yeah, I do remember making this one. That tiny little rhythmic texture in there every once in a while. You know when you've like run really hard and you stop and you can feel the blood like pulsing and you can hear it in your ear? Like it kind of reminds me of that. All right, we're gonna treat this one a little bit. Um, because the volume drops down pretty dramatically here in just a moment. I want to make sure that we can retain the presence in all of that change. So we're going to do a little jockeying, make that happen. All right, we're going to call that one good. This one. Hmm. X. Nice, Paul. All right, let's smooth that just a touch here. Yeah, that's some contemplative stuff right here. Oh, it's just tiny bits of resonance here and there. Let's, instead of making a big deal about all of that, let's do, I should take your guided tutorial, Soothe, but right now I think what I'm going to do is go for that. Seriously, the naming of these presets is great. I'm going to read these to you. A bit less would do. A small change to the rock and roll. Ah, this great song is even greater. Balance to the Grammy Awards. Carefully feeling compassion. De-essing the master. Ear-friendly top-on master 2. Good for compilation albums. Helping the Eurovision. Less ugga-mugga in the 155 area. Less mud on the master. Make my ballad whole again. And these are great. Removing what most miss. All right, let's try that one. Paul, I like that 1, I like that 2, I like that 3, I like that 4. That's funny. Save me from the big bad mid monster. Oh, this is great. Next. Ear scene. I'm just going to bring this down a tiny bit. It's fine. It doesn't need to be quite that loud. Alright, cool. Wow. Goni alert. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, let's get the resonance out of that too. Classic OhmLab drum. Wow, wow, wow. Alright, this one can use a little something. Let's give it some bit crush. And actually that little 8-bit noise is pretty alright. Yeah, I like that bit crush. Now let's add a little overdrive. Is this like 4 layers of saturation? It's fine. That one feels now very visceral. Gaseous swirl. This one needs a little something. Get these upper harmonics. And let's just demolish that sub-presence down. Like completely different sound with all that impact down there, right? Sweet spot. Next. Low and east. Want an EQ. Self action. Fairly rumbly. Let's add an overdrive. See just how far up the ladder we can generate our. Egg 19, egg 18, 17, 16, 14. Fine. You know. It's great. It's got like a sense of discovery to it. Oh yeah, I wasn't sure what to do with this one when I made it, and now I have to deal with that. All right, so shave off these lower frequencies a bit. Add some saturation. I mean, speaking of The Last of Us. Great. All right, next. Unbearable intensity. Removing about 8 dB starting. All right, cool. I'm gonna take off a total of 11 dB. On low, low C. Is there any audio in this track? I don't think this track has. Moving on. Cue. Off. It's good. Next. Spicy G. All right, taken down like 7, 8. Try again. It's good. Take off 1 more dB and call it good. All right, this one feels good, but it needs gotta wrangle these lows. Oops. And then we need to saturate. Hear it better. Adjust for loudness. Cool. Anticipate. Kind of like this spot. Let's try it without. Yeah, I think I kind of like it in here. Kind of teetering on the edge of that resonance. There are so many things to do, Grimia. You know, it's fun because I come on these streams and I'm like, hey, it's my break time. Inside, some days I'm like screaming inside of my head the whole time, like, I have so much to do. So it's nice to be able to commiserate with someone. Yes, that. Yeah. This is great. Great. This, I think maybe just the way it is fine. Plop and done. All right, yeah, this one's a little. This is what I like to call an insanity inducer. Leave this one on too long and you will go insane. All right, we're going to take off 4.5 dB or so on this guy and see what that feels. Right, it's Phoenix. We need someone in our community just focused on promotion. All right, same on this one. I just want to. I also kind of want to scoop these mids. right, now let's take away like 60 and see what happens. There are easier careers. Plenty of jobs. Yes, Danny, yes, yes, and then there's also the yes. Yes, phase plant is incredibly powerful for physical modeling and cinematic stuff. Holy moly, holy wow, and holy holy. You should be having lots of fun right now. It's a freaking amazing, amazing tool, right? Isn't it just awesome? So good. Now you make me want to play with phase plant. All right, this one's solid. We're just gonna bring it down. If I got like the frozen granular happening there. All right, this is good, but I'm gonna put it up 1 more dB. Phase plant Zoom sound design session soon. Yeah, dude, that sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. Um, yeah, it's still in here. Okay, just making sure I still got it installed and licensed on this machine here. So yeah, let's do that. Grading. Grading. Let's do this. Take this grading. We're gonna take off like 5.5, 6 dB, and then we're gonna sit here and listen to this just a sec. So just a little. Sound is like, screw you, left channel. I'm out of here. Infrasoundish. I mean, this is great. I should be going in there and cleaning up some soupy lows, but I don't even want to right now. Like, this is pretty good. I'm going to move on from this one. All right, we're going to tame this guy. Some things are a little bit beyond smooth. That was a nice little landing spot for that. All right, let's try this one. I mean, yeah. Dremia, that laundry list of things is only true if you're taking it all on yourself. All right, I think I kind of like this muted version of it. Let's move on. Hey, we're almost through all these sounds. There's like freaking 70 sounds here. All right, let's bring this way down. A label, Andy. A label. I think I still believe that the best solution for you is to do what you're saying, is to focus on the music and none of the other stuff. I think that you've created all of this like character stuff, which you need to maintain control of. But all of the other stuff can be done by other people that aren't creating the sound and the character. Kind of want this to be more. Um, let's try. Yeah, that's why I was saying we need someone in the group in the community that's just focused on promotion. Ooh, okay. Sent off a couple of emails. That's about it. Yeah, it's like you just got to do a bunch. And here's the thing is that it might suck for that moment, for like that week or two or three that you're doing it. But if you're sending out a bunch, then the law of averages says you're going to get back a certain number of responses. So if you go wild and you send out a whole bunch, now you have some like places to pick from almost, right? Like you could look at it and say, okay, these three folks are interested, which one would be the better fit? And then just go all in with them and see if it works. And if it doesn't, move on. But if it does, hallelujah. And like life changes from that point forward because now other people whose daily job it is to attract the attention of people to listen to things, it's on the case. Yeah, we need staff. Exactly. Yeah, the individual members of the community don't need a couple of grand. That'll only like put a little band-aid on something for but the community at large needs a couple of grand that we could just like here's some staff. They're going to do all of this stuff for you guys. I was actually having a little off to the side conversation with Liv kind of about this yesterday about how I had because for many years I've been like a producer of producers, right? Like I like training people to become kind of self-sufficient and understand all of this stuff. Um, and I really have had my sights set on kind of building a kind of decentralized production team, which could kind of help fund the individual efforts that everybody wants to be pursuing, while also in the process, gaining all of those skills to be the ultimate ninja or whatever. But still, like at the end of the day, there still needs to be that label component, um, because you can't be tasked with all of the production and all of the label work. It just doesn't. Yeah, you just got to keep mailing. And you know what? I don't respond to a lot of people. Like, there's so many people. There's so many people. But if it's a right fit, you respond, right? And yeah, I mean, there's only so many minutes in the day, and some of these places have, hundreds of emails coming in a week or whatever. Um, but a person is going to know when they hear their thing, you know? Your tribe is out there waiting. Okay, let's get an EQ on this. We need to find those streaming communities of spreadsheet programmers and tap into them. People think management's job is to impede progress, but truth is that staff's job. That's the staff's job. Management to make sure enough of staff. Yeah, right. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get this peak down here. That's already pretty good right here. Cool. Move on. Well, hello, low and steady. Aren't you all super bigly down low? Yes, yes. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like that. It's mid-high. Let's bring this one down like 90. We'll sub bump down. Such a tenuous feeling. Love it. Let's save this thing. Let's bring that down like 10. Try again. 4. Oh. Yo, Eric! Eric is here, y'all. How you doing, man? Sounds like intro to Star Trek, right? Yeah. We're almost through this big old list of drones here. Perfect timing, right? All right, let's bring this one down like 6 dB or so. This one is pretty good. All right, next. Yeah, I do really, really like this one. It does kind of look like an iceberg diagram, huh? And Drumia, you know what I'm wondering is if the next time we see Dub come through here, probably on Friday, probably in just 2 days. Next time he's in the chat, we should ask him for a few tips for promo type stuff in regards to approach, perhaps. This one's just lovely. This one. Michael's another one that's good to ask about some advice on on just labels and approach and whatnot. Um, Trying to remember what his most recent handle is. Um, Swamp. He has the Swamp Music label. Um, oh, I can't remember what he just recently changed his dub or promoter. Yeah, it does some promotion work. Yeah, Michael has lots of really good insights into this kind of stuff, but also he's just kind of well connected in the circles um, of folks like this, and I don't know. I mean, it's all about who you know. Like if you get an introduction from someone, it's easy, and when you don't have an introduction, you're like one of 2 million people trying to get the attention of someone. You know what I mean? But he reached out to me recently asking if I could help with one of his guys, so maybe we can ask him to kick down some general insights and see if it could help some folks. Yeah, Andremia, I think that, you know what, like, honestly, 98% of people, like, all they can really do is, like, send the link. Here you go, I make this. I'll tell you what, though, the majority of them that I get are, like, cookie cutter and, like, formulaic, right? Like, they've obviously sent this to a bunch of people. And the other thing is the the way in which they speak in the messages matters, right? And most of them write as if it doesn't matter. And so if you have just like a small amount of effort in that area being applied, it can go a really, really long way. Um, and, you kind of personalize your messages to each person that you send to, do a little bit of research about the label, maybe mention one of the artists on the label or something as like a source of inspiration or kindred spirit or whatever. Find a couple of touch points or whatever. Um, I think there's some ways in which you can operate to help yourself get a click through to the portfolio, because that's where it stops usually. Is someone like arrives at work and they look at their inbox and are like, man, 630 inbox messages. Okay, here I go. Right. And it's like, give me something that jumps off the screen, right? As you're going from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Maybe there's just like something that made me laugh in this one. So I'm going to take the time to like click through and listen. And yeah, it has nothing to do with being like jaded or uninterested or gatekeeping. It's more just like, man, how many minutes in the day are there, right? And how many demands are there in each day? But finding a way to just kind of stand out, it's pretty good. Eric says, I guess, check out my beats isn't enough, right? Beats by the pound. Give away your music and sell performances. Well, Indrimia is not able to do that. Yeah, music's already free on YouTube and such, and um, yeah, I mean, you can do it. Like there are people that do the free model, and it gets stuff into projects very, very quickly. And then their thing is that they make money off of the higher quality stuff or the more broadcast side of licensing. Like it's free to a point kind of thing. Um, but I would agree. Like your stuff has a lot of licensing potential, and you're like the I don't know. You've got like you would have an instant audience with a lot of gamers and sci-fi fanatics and whatnot. I still think that you could probably do something for like Sci-Fi Channel or Adult Swim or something that's like serialized, right? Something that kind of reoccurs in little commercial spots and intermission segments and whatnot. I still see plenty of potential. So it's for me, it's just a matter of like finding the person to go hustle for you. I think your stuff is good, especially the last couple things, like the breaking away just a little bit is pretty great. I want to hear more of that darker stuff. Oh, this is good right here. Couple more. Okay, there's the sweet spot. Choral vibes. That was pretty solid. Oh. Connect to trying to rebuild my image to something a bit more serious, but it's far more than good at cookie. The library music. Well, library is just a collection of things that you've produced. I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions happening here. Um, yeah, like if you're submitting stuff to a library, they don't say like you need to make these things. Um, I think all of this gets easier when there's someone repping you. You need to partner with a similar community that's all about, people trying to get up in the game of A&R and just talent discovery and promotion in general. We should have them. We should have them on the show. Get them involved in chat. This one's already pretty solid. All right, that one's good. This one's pretty good too, but I would like to tame it just a little bit here. above, so let's get back up to 30 or last one. Okay, we've got loudness, and we've got a little, see how. Saf, have a good one, homie. It's down in several dB here. Couple more. Okay, now all those actually feel pretty good. Next step is we're gonna put a fade on the top and bottom of each one of these. So we'll say the fade on the front is, let's do maybe 20. And on the back side, let's say maybe 1000. Let's listen to a couple of these randomly on the tails. This one. Oh, it actually looks like I might need to up a couple of. Okay, great. So those by and large are working. And I am set to start bouncing a whole bunch of stuff, but I'll be doing that later. Because now I have to go into more meetings and stuff. Oh, here's a little side quest for some of you. I'm not sure how many people here are still left, but here's a little side quest. I'm in the process of building a whole bunch of new courses, a whole bunch of new sound design courses and whatnot. And I want to know what the biggest holes are in people's understanding of different topics. So, if there are things that have been highly elusive to you or never explained very well, or all of the tutorials that you find about this topic are convoluted and complex or something, um, mention it. We need to make a place for this on the Discord, probably, but I'll have to figure this out. For right now, if you guys have an idea about something that would be good to just cover in general, so you have a deeper understanding of it, drop it in the public lounge for now until I figure out a better way to do this. And I'll see if it can be worked into one of these courses. I'm trying to make them as holistic as possible. If you guys are willing to be vulnerable and share with me the things that you don't understand all that well, it would help. All right, let's see. Let's see who's streaming right now. Let's see who we can raid. All right. The Funky Spud. It's pretty funky. Funky Spud is what? Trombone, right? We could go do that. Why not? Let's go do that. We haven't visited him in quite some time. I appreciate you guys. In 2 days' time, we'll have a Feedback Friday. So definitely bounce stuff that you've been working on this week and get it into the queue early on Friday morning so we get to you in a decent amount of time. And until then, stay inspired. Go make some awesome freaking stuff. And I appreciate you. I'll see you on the flip. Big love, guys. Peace out.